School of Jacksonville.
Thanks, Joel.
For this high school.
I am so excited to be broadcasting tonight's game. Joel, you've done a great job at the desk and calling the games as well. I am Ray Carnicelli, joined by Jim Applegate in the booth for a battle between 9-0 Episcopal and 10-0 Providence. Jim, two undefeated teams this late in this crazy season. Hard to believe.
It really is, Ray, and we know that Providence got pushed to the edge a little bit last game against Mandarin, but came up on top, and so here we are with two undefeated teams.
You know, the lacrosse, the way the game is played, it's so much about the specialists. And when we say specialists, the face-off game, the goalies, the extra man opportunities, and today's going to be an example of that.
Yeah, and as we saw Thursday night with House, at Christian House at Nice, he was able to take over the game in the fourth quarter at the face-off X, and so it does. It gives you a lot of possessions on offense, and if you can do that time after time, it puts a lot of pressure on the other opposing team's defense.
For Episcopal in goal, Jackson Halsey, the 11th grader, is going to be somebody to keep an eye on. And then for Providence, an 8th grader, Chase Walker. So that's a pretty big deal, 8th grader starting goalie at the varsity level.
Welcome to the big leagues, right? So, but, in this game, if you're a talented player, you can go ahead and bridge that gap as an 8th grader, and I'm expecting that he's going to have a good game today.
Well, I'm excited. Both coaches have really done wonders with these programs at Providence. Brian Thies over here at Episcopal, Glenn Carter. I was talking to Coach Carter earlier today, and he had mentioned that this is his favorite team. The culture of the team, they've embraced it. They play hard. And one of the things that he had mentioned is it's do the best you can every day. Everything that you do it the best, and it's ingrained in their culture. So they come out against a rivalry. This is Rivalry on the River presented by Train, and this is an opportunity to demonstrate everything that the coaches have been preaching to you.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach Carter got in their ear a little bit about the fact that both teams are undefeated and they want to keep that streak going along. And the warm-ups were a little interesting. I was watching Coach Carter's team out there, and they were doing a lot of one-on-one dodging, a lot of contact, and I think they're ready to play.
Talking to Coach Carter, the head coach of Episcopal School of Jacksonville, he had mentioned that his program has the largest roster, the largest number of kids in the program out of any sport at Episcopal. That's pretty impressive because it wasn't always the case trying to build up the middle school and get that feeder program going. And it looks like he's gotten to the point where he feels good about this team. They're young, they're talented, and they're ready to play today.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when he was starting to build a program. I coached the Ponte Vedra JV, and Episcopal would have 13 JV players. So Coach Carter's done a tremendous job building this program.
Coach Thies over at Providence brings in his 10-0 squad lined up at the face-off spot. Chase Walker, that's number 9, Glenn Klobaka. So, Jim, probably a little nervy for these players. This is on TV. It's on the radio. There's a lot of people, probably one of the larger high school crowds I've seen outside of maybe a late-season playoff game.
Yeah, I would expect a few nerves to be shown here in the beginning of the game. You might see a little bit of a sloppiness to it, but once they get over those nerves, you're going to be watching a good lacrosse game.
See Kobaka out there to take the face-off for Providence, and Jack Hooper for Episcopal. The referee has the ball lined up, and there's our opening whistle. Immediately push forward. Loose ball push. So with a loose ball penalty in lacrosse, it's just a change of possession. So Providence is going to start on offense early. That's sure. Teams like to work it around once or twice, get their feet under them, get the nerves, and Episcopal is bringing heavy pressure early.
Nice double team in the corner.
So that caused turnover, pushing it upfield.
Providence got called for a push on that. You have to play the ball.
So Hoosier steps it into the offensive end. Early offense, looking to penetrate. Got two Providence players on that ground ball. Who's going to come up with it? It's going to be Providence.
Well, I definitely like the energy early on in this game.
It's going to stay with Providence. Now, you mentioned early nerves for these players. One of the key statistics in lacrosse are ground balls. It's so important to earn and keep your possession, and saw Providence do that at the defensive end. Into the offense comes Stone. Senior Nick Stone, 23 goals on the season.
Being guarded pretty tight there, and obviously Episcopal has him scouted and knows he's a scorer.
Bloomer now carries left-handed through X. I like Providence's spacing early, drawing out the Episcopal defense, creating some space, hopefully getting a matchup that they like.
And in high school, there is no shot clock like there is in college, so you'll see teams taking extra long on their possession sometimes, especially when the defense is playing this hard.
Episcopal is putting some pressure. Providence is going to have to work to get open. There's not going to be any quarter given. Need team ground balls. One man take the man, the other player take the ball, and work together on those ground balls. Nice job. Great pickup. So Stone carries it. He's got a matchup. He beats his man, feeds to the crease. Couldn't connect. It was a good look, though.
It was.
Really like the way that Stone dodged with his head up. If a slide comes to you, normally where that defender came from is the open spot. Just couldn't connect on that pass. Good takeaway check. So Episcopal takes over on offense. That's Goodman. Left-handed Crable. He's penetrating. Good lefty look. Shot just over the goal. Jake Murphy caught it left-handed on the doorstep in the perfect spot.
We did talk about a little bit of nerves, and I think that one caught him off guard a little bit.
Decent dodge, but the trail check comes in, puts it on the ground. Providence carrying it out of their own end. That takeaway check was by Blake Pierce, sophomore defender. Nice job by Providence to bring it back towards the middle, stay away from that sideline in the clear.
I love the way that Episcopal is being real aggressive, doubling the ball when they can.
Here's an opportunity for Skipper. Drew the double team, couldn't find the open man. Quick recovery on defense by Episcopal. Over to Bloomer. Bloomer, left-handed cradle, carrying through Axe. Head up, gets underneath, top side, save! Saved by Halsey. Ball bounces all the way close to the midfield line, where it's going to be collected by Scherer. Back over to Skipper. He's got that long pole assignment. Pressing way out, 25 yards from cage.
Look at the way the defense collapses on the left side.
Shot from distance, it's a save. Another save by Halsey. And that delayed penalty is going to be accounted for. So Providence is going to have an extra man opportunity. Our score is 0-0, 8:08 remaining in the first quarter. It's Rivalry on the River, brought to you by Train.
Looks like there was a cross check on the play, so it's going to be a power play opportunity for Providence for 1 minute. And Ray, I was looking at my notes, and I see where it says Thomas Slagle, number 24, he's a do-it-all. And next thing you know, he's out there on man up with a long pole in his hand, so he must be able to shoot.
He is impressive. Good ball movement right away. Good spacing for Providence, trying to get that Episcopal defense moving.
Nice.
Shot and a score.
Nice little face dodge by Brandon Bloomer.
Coming into the game, the senior attackman had 21 goals. Make that 22 as Providence takes the early lead on the extra man power play goal.
Yeah, normally as a coach, when you see an offensive player dodging on a man-up play, you get a little nervous, but it paid off for Bloomer on that time.
So the penalty costs Episcopal. Halsey, the goalie for Episcopal, has 2 early saves. Playing man down, you're at a disadvantage, and it was a great finish. Lining up for the face-off. All-important possession battle. Ground ball possessed by Episcopal. Got to move that ball. Keep it hot. Waited too long. Providence takes it away. Here comes Slagle. Headed towards the sidelines. It's going to be awarded to Episcopal. Want to make the easy pass, work hard off ball, earn those
dangerous.
possessions. Yeah, that's a turnover. Man open on the far side. It's connected. Here's an opportunity for Providence. Carrying towards Zach, surveying the field. Skip pass up top to Slagle. Corrals it with the long pole over to Skipper.
That was a nice handle, Ray, by Slagle.
Feed down low at the goal line extended. Trying to get underneath. There's Stone. Low angle shot. It's blocked.
So early on, Ray, it looks like Providence is just outworking Episcopal.
Halsey stick handling right back to the middle of the field again. Here's an opportunity. Shot and a score. Goal for Providence. That was Brandon Bloomer, the senior. Risky clearing.
Yeah, it is. You never throw the ball to the middle, especially when there's a lot of players there. You want to go through the goalie and get the ball back through the backside. And a lot of times we talk about the substitution box. You really want to clear away from that substitution box because defensive players are coming on the field, and just Episcopal has to show a little bit more patience.
You see the 10-0 Providence versus the 9-0 Episcopal team. It's unsettled situation. So far, the 2 goals that Providence has scored, one was an extra man, the other was off a turnover on the clear.
And it all comes back to the hustle that I was talking about earlier, and they're just outworking Episcopal right this second.
Kobaka controls, it's awarded to Episcopal, so Episcopal back on offense, trying to chip away at this 2-0 deficit.
So your team's played a lot of defense so far, Ray. I expect them to be pretty patient here and get a nice possession and try to get a quality shot and get this game to be a 1-goal game.
Nice little hitch move to the inside. That's a shot and a score. Goal by number 15 for Episcopal, John Allen Ginder.
Yeah.
And that's a goal for Episcopal's number 15, John Allen Ginder.
Nice little jump shot by Ginder, and it really was a well-placed shot. It was off the goalie's opposite stick side hip, which is a difficult place for a goalie to stop the ball.
That first little jab step that he used to get to the middle really separated him from the defender. So you gotta really like that first move to create the shot.
Yeah, it's interesting to see a hitch to a jump shot.
2-1, Providence on top of Episcopal. Nice battle going on here. So when you hear heavy, you can hear the field level noise saying heavy. That means throw checks. Throw checks, heavy pressure. Providence runs out with the ball, trying to catch Providence or Episcopal in a substitution. They've got an odd man rush, showing good patience to pull it out. Jim, it looked like they had that 2-on-1 set up for some offense.
They did. The faceoff guy was subbing out, and they had a brief 6-on-5 for a half a second, and they didn't take an opportunity to go to the cage.
Skipper swims around the short stick defender. Good footwork both ways. Feed to the crease to the long pole. See if it stays on which side of the midfield line. Nice job keeping it back into the offensive end, and Providence maintains their possession. That's sure. They are chasing the ball carrier, shutting off adjacent on the midfield.
And that's exactly why you do it, because you cause an errant pass like that.
It's a delayed over and back call. There it is, over and back. Got a timeout on the field. So we're going to go ahead and take a break. It's Rivalry on the River, brought to you by Train. Our score is Providence 2, Episcopal 1 from the Episcopal School of Jacksonville. Rivalry on the River, presented by Train.
Today's game. The
Rivalry on the River is brought to you by Train, the CSI companies, Bono's Barbecue, FSCJ, and Duval Motor Company.
Back to the action. That's a shot and a score right out of the break. It's Duda with the goal. Early offense coming out of the break. and Episcopal ties it up.
Duda did a great hitch, got to the middle of the cage, and again, Episcopal's focusing on that off-stick hip, and Duda very well placed that shot, and no way the goalie's going to save that.
Look at him just power through the checks.
He was strong, man. You dodge strong. You dodge strongly, and you get to the middle, right?
You think about physical play, and a lot of times people think defense, physical play, defense. That was Julio Duda running through stick checks, nobody taking the body, and he just hammered it through, got those hands to the front, and scored a goal, tied up. Undefeated teams tied. What more could you ask for? Rivalry on the River brought to you by Train.
Another scrum in the middle of the field.
Want to get those first-time ground balls.
Should be a failure to advance because Providence picked up the ball.
Whack. So Providence on offense. That's Nick Stone. He's got a free runner coming out of the substitution area. No one's picked him up. You don't want to run into traffic, though. Stay back.
Still open.
Yeah, he's still. Are they in a zone, Jim? They must be.
No, I think they're just confused.
That one player was in a zone.
Yeah.
So Episcopal gets balanced up on defense. Still continuing with the heavy pressure.
Yeah. And Ray, you just heard Coach Thies yell, you got to move, right? Everyone's standing still off ball, and with this kind of pressure, you're never going to be able to move the ball around your offense if you're that stationary.
3:36 to go in the opening quarter. Rivalry on the River, brought to you by Train. 2-2 is our score. Gorgeous day, gorgeous facility. Here comes Stone around that left goal line extended, passes it off to Slagle, staying on offense.
These players have a lot of confidence with him. That's the second time they forced the ball into the middle. That one he got stick checked and just missed the cage.
So we'll see if Episcopal can spread it out and make the right pass, make the easy pass. You have an extra player.
I got to imagine that Coach Carter talked about how they're going to accomplish this clear.
Patience pays off as Halsey carries it up towards the midfield line. The attack came up to help. Now here's an odd man rush. Feed down low. Shot saved by Walker. Save and a beaut. Nice ground ball.
Yeah, that's exactly what Walker needed. He let in 2 goals and finally get a save like that.
He's in trouble now. He's got a man uncovered. That was Tritt, who drifted behind the cage. Nice little roll, shot, and a save! Back-to-back saves by Walker. Rebound, score! It was only a matter of time before number 22, Jacob Hoosier, gives Episcopal their first lead of the afternoon.
He's the beneficiary of a rebound goal, which I know, Ray, you hate giving up those rebounds, but sometimes...
Save after save after next one went in, and it looks like basketball much. That was a great pivot to his strong left hand. Great footwork, got his body in front of it, stayed tall, and then the rebound went in. Look at there's 2 Providence players not taking man.
Yep. What I really like about that, though, is you could see Walker's concentration. He's following the ball as it's coming at him, and so it's a good sign when a goalie sees the ball coming at him. He's going to be making saves today.
Give credit to Hoosier for following the shot and staying with it, too.
Yeah.
So coming off the goal, Episcopal wins the faceoff. We've got a little momentum here. 2:20 in the first quarter of play. Rivalry on the River presented by Train. Lax and Jacks is happening. Episcopal with the ball, with the lead. Julio Duda, left-handed cradle, splits back. They're going to give him that shot. Shot, save.
Nice save.
Walker dropped that stick. He kept his right foot moving towards the post. Risky outlet pass back towards the middle of the field, but it connects. Skipper comes up with it. Possession to Providence.
I like the poise that Walker had in the goal. Made a nice save. That pass was a little bit long, but as a goalie, right, you want to throw the ball long, not short.
Yeah, always overthrow it. We saw it earlier on the other end where there's some short passes at the ankles. Caused turnover from Episcopal. Now they're attempting to clear. I like how they're getting the midfield back to come back and get the ball on the clear. Delayed penalty coming up, so it's a free possession for the Eagles. Man open in front. One-step shot, sails it over the goal. 22 caught the ball. That was Hoosier in front of the goal. You'd like to see him hammer it overhand, and he just kind of went a little sidearm.
That's a perfect time to go high to low, and sometimes you try to get a little fancy for the the TV highlight reel goal, and that's not the time for it.
hammer it around the goalie, but an extra man opportunity. That's going to be the 30-second variety for Episcopal.
Hey, right here. Hey, you're going out at 44. I'll count you down.
They're going to let him come off, or they're going to call him for
No,
too many
you have to reset the field. You can't blow the whistle.
That was
You can call a delay a game, but
You're too nice sometimes, Jim.
let the boys compete.
So Episcopal, there's Tritt, works it behind a Hoosier.
So it looks like they're in a 1-4-1 set, and now they're going to rotate out of that into a 3-3.
There's a look. Feed to the crease, wide open, couldn't handle it. That was a good patient look, just couldn't control it. There's a shot, score! Extra man goal for Episcopal, John Allen Ginder.
Again, Ginder, another recipient of a ground ball that comes back into his stick, and he just picks it up and fires it into the goal.
That was right as the penalty was releasing. We had talked about it earlier, and we talk about it often, that the penalty is not over until the defense gets back in and set. Just when they yell release, it's not over. There's so many unsettled goals. Second goal of the day for John Allen Ginder, and he picked it up and let it go.
He did. What I loved about that is his feet were set. The second he picked the ball up, he just put his stick behind him and just let the ball fly.
4-2 Episcopal on top, 44 seconds remaining in the first quarter of play. Like this face-off battle, this time it's going to be awarded to Verme. Nick Verme, the sophomore. A lot of young guys out there. Man open on the far side. Oh, he thought about it. Sure, thought about that 15-yard shot.
I think Coach Thiefs was in his head on that one, saying, "Oh no, I can't shoot this.
What does Jim Applegate do?
Let it go."
Nice little hitch move in short time. Feed down low, lefty. There's the shot, and it's a save. Squaring up, facing the goalie like that. Got short time now. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, the ball is booted around, and we are at the end of the first quarter of play. And what a quarter it was. A lot of action, goalie saves, face-offs, shots scored, just an incredible quarter of play. We're going to go ahead and take a break. Our score at the end of the first quarter is Episcopal 4, Providence 2. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Train. Welcome back to Rivalry on the River, presented by Train. You're taking a look at Chase Walker, the 8th grade goalie. Jim, you think that's right? He's playing like a senior.
I love his poise in the cage, Ray. He's really, he may be young, but he obviously knows what he's doing, and he's really doing a good job for Providence right now.
And those saves he made has to boost the team. Got an illegal procedure against Episcopal, so that's a face-off win for Providence. Kobaka is going to carry it in. Heavy pressure right away. Illegal procedure. Playing without his stick. So Episcopal on the clear, despite losing that face-off. They're able to earn the ball back. Halsey's going to walk it up, be patient.
So
He looked covered, but he jammed it in there.
Yeah, so Providence' strategy right now is to guard everyone but the goalie and make him clear the ball.
End-to-end shot and a score.
What an athletic goal.
That was Jake Murphy, the senior. Ran down that alley right along the hash marks. I thought he was losing his angle, Jim, but very accurate shooting.
Yeah, Ray, he really just dodged hard down the alley and had a full head of steam and perfectly placed shot.
Impressive goal. And Episcopal, despite coming out and taking a few shots from Providence, has answered back 5 goals. 5 quick goals.
He gets knocked down after the shot, but after you score, you'll take that hit every single time.
So we've seen a couple of violations here on the face-off. So important in the game of lacrosse today. Got to be still until the referee blows that whistle.
These two have been battling all game.
Nice ground ball. That was Hoosier, came up with that ground ball.
Nice
Little
swim.
Nice. Scoots through. He's got an alley right now. He's going to wind up shot wide. Good backup on the play.
So earlier in the game, we said that Providence had a little bit of momentum, and I think it's the momentum swung right now to Episcopal. You can see that they're running downhill, they're playing aggressively, they're taking a lot of shots, and they're starting to get in a groove.
I was talking to Coach Carter a couple weeks ago and asking who are the players to keep an eye on, and he mentioned Hoosier, and he sent me some video, and he just stands out. There's a bounce shot over the goal. He just plays at a different speed.
Yeah, he does.
It's going to be awarded to Episcopal. It was close. So Episcopal's going to step in with the ball on offense, a 5-2 lead. So, Jim, we've noticed Episcopal on defense is pressing out. Providence is packed in a little bit more.
Yeah, I think they have to, especially, if you have Slagle out there playing offense, defense, you can't play that as aggressively as Episcopal is. Otherwise, you're never going to have them in the fourth quarter.
Julio Duda has a take at the cage and sails it over, ran into pressure. Keep shooting. Nothing wrong with that. You have backup. Tritt is going to control it. Rolls back to that right goal line, extended feed to the backside. Decent look, just couldn't be handled. This field is fluffy. The ball does have a tendency to stay in.
As an offensive player, you love it. As a defensive player, you don't.
Very deliberate offense now for Episcopal. Ginder's going to control. Just looking for that isolation matchup. Now they're picking to the ball. Roll back, throw back, two-man game. Face dodge. Good hit, good no call. As long as you hit him from the front, between the knees and the shoulders.
Yeah, that's the way you play a face dodge, right? You body up and you knock him backwards and stop his momentum.
So Tritt's going to have a run at it. Well defended, fighting for that top side, trying to get underneath, and really nice job by Slagle. No, seriously, on our positions, it says "do it all" in capital letters for Slagle.
And we've seen that so far.
Good ball movement now, trying to get to the top. Shot and a save. Walker went down to his knees, but kept his stick up high, made the save, and just as importantly, controlled the rebound. Jog it up, Chase is the call. Good poise out of the 8th grader. Nice clear. That is a nice clear. Be patient, up the ladder, spread out. Now here's an opportunity. Feed down low. Trail check comes in. You almost want him to quick stick that.
Yeah, you do. It's kind of a little bit of a lost art, especially with the technology of these sticks nowadays.
Say it, those big, giant, ugly, baggy sticks.
And those baggy sticks, you're right.
You got to pull it back to get the ball out of them. Here comes Providence. Skipper feeds to the crease. That's going to stay in. You got 2 white shirts there. You want to see him play some man ball.
Yeah, I kind of felt that Mitty was jogging after that ball. I think if he would have sprinted after that, he would have had it cleanly.
There's some hustle for Providence as Otwell controls. Tried to hit Pacerno. That's good ground ball work by Pacerno. Shouldered his man off the ball, picked it up himself.
Tough ground ball.
DePerna. Got to get these passes up.
Yeah, Ray, you wonder with this is really the first hot day that we've had this year, and you wonder what kind of toll it's going to take on these players.
And the announcers. Forget about us. There's Dunn with a left-handed shot, and it's going to be chased out and backed up by Providence. Good hustle by Brandon Bloomer.
Yeah, I think that was in this game when we shoot the ball real wide, we call it a possession shot. I think he didn't want the ball anymore. It's like, all right, let somebody else play.
So Providence trying to work that offense. Early help from Episcopal, and they just aren't handling the pressure.
No, they're not. And again, when you get a little bit tired, that pressure starts taking over, and the passes that were to your stick are now, another foot wide, and you got to step in to catch the ball. We always talk about catching the ball with your feet, right? And so, but the Providence player was too stationary to catch it.
Halsey to Miles Long. Miles Long taking a jog across the midfield line, and Episcopal's back on offense. Controlled by Murphy. Back up top to Hoosier. John Allen Ginder. He's got a look. He's going to have a take, and it's caught by Walker. Got to watch that back. Is he out of the crease? He was out of the crease.
No, he wasn't. He's got his arm up.
If that attackman would have waited about one more second, he would have had to come out. You get 4 seconds when you control the ball in the crease. Lesson learned. Always check your back door as a goalie before you step out.
Yeah, there's usually one of us attackman waiting for you guys to step out.
Lurking. Got to have eyes in the back of your head. Fortunately for Episcopal. So you see the goalie, Walker, he's walking out. He's almost out. He's out. Goal at the other end, regardless. Providence at the other end. Nick Stone, 26 goals coming into today for the senior, and lucky break.
Oh, Slagle.
Okay, 24, Slagle.
Come on, Ray, it's Mr. Do-It-All. You know that.
Yeah, just I think that was him making the save at the other end, too. So here's the replay on the goal that we missed. Caught it on the crease. You talked earlier about them not being afraid to force it in there to the long pole.
Well, obviously it works. He handles the ball real well and made a nice catch and finished the play.
The junior, Thomas Slagle, seems like he's already been around forever. I remember him being out there plenty as an 8th grader.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. That's a nice face-off win.
It's fun watching these kids develop over the years and what turned into really good lacrosse players.
Slagle's going to have a take. He's feeling it. He's got an itchy trigger finger now. He's a goal scorer. We'll have to change his title position to goal scorer. So Providence maintains possession. There's Verme. Over to Skipper. Feed to the crease. Slagle once again. He's going to pivot, turn, shoot, and sails it over. Shoot it overhand, son.
I want him on my team, Ray. I don't care. He's very confident in there. That was a nice little spin move that he did inside the crease and got off a quality shot. It's just got to hit the cage.
There's a feed to the cutter. Shot deflected. That was a really nice job by Garrett Daniel. Got his stick in there, just deflected that shot, backed up and possessed by Providence. There's Nick Stone. Feed to the crease. Little hitch, shot, high bounce shot. Corralled by Halsey.
Good save by Halsey.
You know what I liked about that save? He was patient on it. Sometimes goalies will go down the minute that ball's going down. He waited for it to come back up. It's very difficult to do.
Yeah.
Used to be the Bugs Bunny slow pitch changeup that you take like 3 swings at. Forcing it on offense. Episcopal's giving Providence some life here with these turnovers and forces, and Providence has a little extra pep in their step. Nice check on the ride.
I thought Coach Thies was going to call a timeout there.
MJ Goodman threw a stick in there and landed that check. So Episcopal's back on offense, leading 5-3.
So last time this went back and forth like this, I said, okay, Episcopal's going to take a rest and pass the ball around, and they didn't, and they're not going to do it this time either.
And Walker says, no soup for you. Makes the save. He's controlling the rebounds, too. I know he's got a big baggy stick there. It makes it a little more difficult to pass, but you don't give up rebounds. That's that underthrown pass we talked about. It is hard with a big baggy goalie stick. Nice takeaway check. Unsettled situation. Did he reach with his free hand?
He did reach with his free hand, but he did not touch it.
If he touched it, it would have been a no-no. Oh, a nice little dodge on the near side. Here comes Hoosier into the offensive end with numbers.
I like the aggressive slide on Providence right there.
There's a flag down. It was going to be offsides. You might as well go back and go play some defense. Hustle back, son.
And we mentioned this on Thursday night, Ray. Whenever you're playing on a new field, and you really got to look at the lines when you first get on the field. The 50 is really hard to tell and see, but as a player, you got to recognize that, and you got to try to stay on sides.
Ginder from distance. It's a free possession with that offsides penalty coming up. So, Jim, both teams are creating a lot of shooting and scoring opportunities. They got to dial it in. Make the goalies work for it.
I agree. You're never going to score when you don't hit the cage, and you know sometimes you got to take off just a little bit of velocity and get a little bit better accuracy to get the ball, make the goalie make saves.
Yeah, I like to say no one's ever shot it under the goal.
Sure. Although they try.
Coach Thies and Providence are going to call a timeout. With 4:40 to go in the first half, our score is Episcopal 5, Providence 3. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Train. Jacksonville Beach, just a couple of miles east of here. We're at the Episcopal School of Jacksonville for Rivalry on the River presented by Train. Jim, take a look at that.
What a great day for lacrosse.
Our score is Episcopal 5, Providence 3, 4:44 to go in the second quarter. Episcopal with the ball. There's Hoosier to Duda. Back across to Ginder.
20 seconds.
Extra man opportunity, so power play for Episcopal. Trying to find the seams, get the defense guessing. Spin it. Sidearm shot. Walker locks it down. Now he's just going to cheap it down to the other end, have a little catch. They still use that term, cheap it? Did you use that, Jim?
No, we didn't use cheap it.
Gilman?
Yeah, Gilman.
Send it to Mexico. We called it cheaping it. I don't know where that came from. I prefer to run it to the other end. Nice little inside move by Tritt.
I think Walker might have got the save on that.
Shot just wide. So this junior attackman, Lee Tritt, he's very confident left and right-handed. He pushes the goal line both ways, which really keeps the defense on its heels.
It's great to watch a player that's that confident with the ball and trying to make a play.
Jim, you love those ex-attackmen, don't you?
Oh, I do.
Controlling the game.
It's kind of a lost art, right? There's because the defenders are so big and strong nowadays. It's a lot of teams generate their offense through their midfield.
Oh, here's an opportunity. Ginder feed down behind the back shot and a score.
Nice goal.
Jacob Hoosier, BTB with the finish.
And Ray, we always talk about the behind the back. There's a time and a place for it, and I believe this was the time and the place for it. His angle was starting to be taken away. And
so you'll see him cruising, losing his angle, but as he brings his stick behind his head back to the center of the field, he beats Walker. Chalk it up. What a pretty goal. Da-da-dum, da-da-dum. Jacob Hoosier.
that'll put a little pep in your step.
Hooper out there for the face-off for Episcopal. 6-3 is our score. Coming up later, Creekside Ponte Vedra. We'll talk more about that one at the half.
Two great games back to back.
That's a nice face-off clamp. Got to get possession and get it over. That's going to be Riggs. Runs through a check. You could hear that tink, but he cradling hard, protecting his stick. Here's an opportunity. Shot misses. It's going to be close. It's going to be awarded to Tritt for Episcopal.
So as a shooter, right, you always talk about snapping your top hand so you don't shoot the ball over the cage, and you could see his top hand was a little lazy on that, and that's why the ball went sailing over the cage.
That was Miles Long. Needs to yank it down.
Yep.
Double team comes. Got to move it. Good double team. Staying heavy on the checks. Kicking it in front of the goal. Dangerous.
And then you start getting that turf bounce with the ball spinning and bouncing side to side.
That was good communication on that ground ball. One player took the man, the other took the ball, and Episcopal maintains possession. Here's Jake Murphy. Step down shot. Just wide.
What I liked about that play too, Ray, is that there were two passes after the ground ball, and then you're on the backside of the defense, and you go to the cage. So it's a perfect time to attack the defense.
I love seeing kids who can shoot hard on the run. He didn't hit the cage, but it was a good shot. Good cut off of the pick in front of the goal. Couldn't connect. Now here's a ground ball battle.
Episcopal comes up with it again.
That was Tritt. Now that's a good possession shot.
Sure.
I don't think that's what he meant, but you have backup. Catch your breath. They need to get their spacing a little bit better.
Well, that and where was his momentum going? It was going to the bench, right? It really wasn't going back to the middle of the field or the cage, and that's why he shot it wide. But you're getting tired.
How did you know? Here comes Miles Long. Back over to Riggs. Will Riggs. Spacing's better.
I do like Episcopal's offense where they're setting an on-ball pick, and then on the backside they're sending a cutter through the middle, and that's worked a couple of times for them today.
So you see the one defender trailing the goalie. He's not helping. I would like to see, if I'm Providence, get every player in the clear.
Yeah, that's a no-no. You can't do that because you're basically playing even strength at that point.
Another good clear by Providence, though. They've got the athletes to get away with it when you can start running the space and run through a check. Timeout by Providence. They've got the possession. We're going to stay with you through this timeout. 1:47 to go in the first half, 6-3. So, Jim, possessions are valuable. You earn it back on the defensive end. 6-3. Providence is trailing. Coach Thies calls the timeout. Value the possession. You can't take the timeouts into the half.
Yeah, I mean, lacrosse is such a game where you have to value possessions, like you're saying. This is a 3-goal game. If it's me, I'm putting a special play in. I'm not going to just run my offense, but I'm not sure with Coach Thies if he has anything in his.
Oh, cool. Can I get the camera? Oh, no way.
Focus, fellas.
That's classic. That's what the sport is all about. It's having fun.
I need the defense. Let's go. Listen,
All right, we're inside the huddle.
Set a pick on crease, and then they're going to bring that guy sweeping across the top. All right, they're setting a pick on crease, and then he's coming over top. We did a good job of playing off it. You've got to fight over that pick, or you got to call the switch early so the guy that's getting picked can come up over top, and then it's not there. That's what we did.
Did you teach him that at UNF?
You guys understand what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
But I used to do it against him, not for him.
He's coming over top of the pick, and they're looking for that on-the-run shot from the middle of the field. Everybody
Love
got
it.
that? Yes, we're good. On-ball defense is great,
Guys,
right?
you're doing a great job.
The next step is just get these ground balls, man. Get them out. They're piling them out, and they're sitting there, and they're getting them. We got to get it out, make it a run.
Coach Kilby wants to suit it up.
Let's go, boys! Hey, let's go. Everybody in. Everybody in.
1, 2, 3,
Finish! Let's go, boys!
Sometimes defensive players make the best offensive coaches because they know how the other team's trying to beat them.
That was fun. I want to get those ground balls on defense and get it upfield, just like Coach Kilby mentioned. So Episcopal on offense, trying to tighten this up before halftime. 1:47 remaining in the half. Episcopal, School of Jacksonville 6, Providence 3. I am Ray Carnicelli, joined by Jim Applegate, longtime coach here in North Florida. So far today, it's just what we talked about. It's the specialists, pretty even on the face-offs.
Yes.
Both goalies are impressing me.
Yeah, it's everything you could ask out of these guys right now, and you knew it was going to be a tight, competitive game. And lacrosse, 3 goals is nothing. That could be 60 seconds of this game.
So watch off ball. See if players are getting open off ball. Are they working to get open, or are they forcing the pass into traffic? Good isolation here as Providence's Stone comes around that right goal line extended. Nice checks being thrown. Varela.
Good look.
You like the skip pass. Sure, trying to free those hands up. Runs into an early double. All right, free possession here. It's the penalty, delayed penalty is called. Ducks underneath, shot, low angle, score! Goal by number 23, Nick Stone. No!
Oh, he was in the crease. Stepped in the crease.
Crease. Uh-oh. Look at the replay here. That was a nice move to duck under that check.
It really was. I thought he had the inside early. And look, he's going to roll back inside. The defender goes over his head.
Way in the – it's the black line.
Yes, it is the black line.
Okay. All right. Nothing more needs to be said except for the people listening on radio. His foot was not in the crease. A little secret we'll share with the radio audience.
It was close.
So the goal comes off the board, but Providence has an extra man. Bobbling it around here. You want to get that ball moving, get the defense to make some decisions. Under a minute to go in the half. Stone to Slagle. Back to Schur. Shot from distance. Score! And you see the goalie Halsey holding his head. He'll tap on his chest at some point.
Yeah, it was that off-speed pitch. Got him, Ray. I think he double-clutched at the ball and missed it.
Listen, I've played goalie for a long time, made a lot of these shots. You lose your focus for 1 second, boom.
That's exactly what happened.
Oh, the agony of defeat. Jim, what do I always say? It's a little ball. It's a big goal.
Put it on cage.
Shoot.
Put it on cage.
Jack Schur. So does everyone feel better about the goal being pulled off for that crease violation, the phantom crease violation?
Yeah.
The ball never lies. The lacrosse gods even it up.
Right. And the refs are thankful, too.
6-4. That was such a great look into the huddle. 48 seconds to go in the half. Trying to dig out that face-off. Nice face-off. He's got to get away from that pressure.
I think that was like the first clean win that we've had off the face-off X.
Penland did a nice job controlling it to himself. I think you're right. There's been mucked up huddles, and that time Penland picked it up, and Episcopal's going to get a chance at a last shot. Less than 30 seconds to go. Doda.
Yeah, I know you like Doda, but I'm not sure I'm going to be attacking Slagle.
Yeah, Doda's got the long pole, Slagle on him. Trying to draw that double. Here's an opportunity for Lyle. Off the mark, backed up. 8 seconds, 8.8 seconds. Still a lot of time. Not a lot of time, but enough time, I should say. Trying to work some picks out in front of the goal. Here comes Tritt. Trying to get through X. There's
nice
a slide.
double team.
Steps through, shot. Oh, that was tracking to the corner, hit the post. He thought he had it. Hit the post, went out of bounds as time expires. What an amazing first half of lacrosse action. Our score is Episcopal 6, Providence 4. We're at the half at Rivalry on the River, presented by Train.
We're back. It's the CSI Company's update desk. We're halftime of Rivalry on the River, presented by Train. Episcopal leading 6-4 here. It's halftime of Game 3 of our quadruple header. Hello, everybody. Joel Lamp, and I'm joined by our special guest, Anne-Marie Forbes-Lynn from U.S. Legal Service. And Anne-Marie, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, Joel.
We appreciate you coming out and supporting the event. And more importantly, tell us a little bit about U.S. Legal Services and the insurance opportunities that you guys offer.
Sure. U.S. Legal Services was started by my father here in the state of Florida, locally owned and headquartered here in Jacksonville. And we've had a presence here in the state of Florida working for regular Americans, Floridians specifically, by offering legal benefits expense insurance for them whenever they have a personal legal matter. They don't know who to call. They don't have the money to pay for it. Gaining access to the legal system is confusing and it's expensive. It's very, prohibitive. So what we do is help relieve all those barriers and allow people access to that. And by providing, qualified, credentialed attorneys anywhere in the country they have an issue or a legal matter, and we pay them directly.
It's an amazing service because it's not just the lawyers, but it's the insurance that can afford you the lawyer that you need.
Right.
I don't have to go out and search and hunt for somebody. You guys already have a ready-to-go list of lawyers that are affordable, but in the package, I've already prepaid for it when
Correct.
I need it.
That's right. And what's really great is there for you when you do need it, because not everybody expects to need an attorney. They don't keep one on retainer unless you have a business or something like that keeps you needing to do that. But for an average American, you think about buying or selling some property, getting your estate plan done. Not everybody has one, and they have children, and they need to be thinking about that. So that's what we want to do, is promote the ability to gain that access and to have quality, affordable legal care.
Awesome. Well, tell everybody how we can get in touch with you guys.
You can go to our website, uslegalservices.net. We also have a mobile app you can download and take a look at. It's just a really great opportunity to be able to serve across the country all kinds of working Americans.
Awesome. Thank you, Anne-Marie. We appreciate your support of the event.
Of course.
All right. It's halftime of River City Rivalry by the River, presented by Train. We return more from the CSI Company's halftime desk when we return. Rivalry on the River, presented by Train. We're at halftime of Game 3 of our quadruple header. Episcopal leading at halftime, 6-4. Joel Lamp and Lee Roggenberg here at halftime here live at Jane Grove Stadium. And Lee, an impressive first half performance. Providence knocked Episcopal around a little early, but then the Eagles came right back and threw a couple punches themselves.
Yeah, I actually think that both coaches are probably pretty happy with where they are right now. Episcopal maybe a little bit less. I think that they missed on some opportunities that they would like to have back. Providence, I think, on the other hand, is probably pretty happy that They were outplayed some in the first half, but are only down 2 goals. And if they can get a little momentum going in the third quarter, they can turn this game around.
We saw that opening goal there, the opening 2 goals by Providence, and now a couple of the Episcopal goals, Julio Dodage with a couple of those. And now when we come back, look in the second half, what are some things that we need to look for from both sides? It seems like Episcopal has had control of possession. They just haven't been able to take a full opportunity of everything that they've had in front of them.
Yeah, we don't have the stats, but I would suspect that the shots on goal as a percentage of the shots attempted were probably something that Episcopal is going to be focusing on the second half. As far as Providence is concerned, I think for the most part they're getting the looks they want. I think it's just getting enough possessions at this point.
It's been a battle so far. Episcopal holding on to the lead right now at halftime. It's 6-4. Episcopal up 2 on Providence. When we return, we'll throw it upstairs to the boys in the booth to bring you the second half.
Hey kids, welcome back to the Episcopal School of Jacksonville. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Train, a celebration of lacrosse in North Florida. And Providence and Episcopal are playing along here, a 6-4 battle. I'm Ray Cardinelli, joined by Jim Applegate, ready for second half action. Scrapping, battling for the ground ball, and it's going to be awarded to Providence. So we'll give a face-off win to Kobaka. Oh, he's calling for it, cutting back in. They look off the face-off guy. He's going to double back. Providence showing some signs of life there at the end of the first half, battling back. Here comes Skipper. He's looking, feet of the crease. Shot save. Halsey on the doorstep.
I love the way Halsey came out and cut off the angle from the attacking player.
The other thing that he did a nice job at, he came across, moved with the ball with his stick at ball level. He didn't drop his stick down. Did a really nice job positioning in the crease. Here's Doda. He's going to have a run at Skipper.
So, Ray, as a goalie, how did you feel when you saved your first shot that you see of the second half?
Love it. Love it. At some point as a goalie, you're saying, please shoot, that you have to convince yourself that you can stop anything, and then you make a save, and it's like, okay, maybe I can. We talk to ourselves sometimes, Jim. I don't know if you knew that about goalkeepers. You suspected it?
I'm just going to be quiet on this one, Ray.
There's Doda. Over to Ginder. Feed to the backside.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a force, but it got through.
Murphy. Got to get those passes up. Here's an odd man rush. 4-on-3 if they hurry. Doda's going to have something to say about that.
Doda is fast.
He's fast. He closed it. They had the looks of a 4-on-3 break, but Doda took one off of his foot at the other end and hustled back.
We always talk about in this game, Ray, of don't turn one mistake into two, and Doda was a prime example there of he didn't catch the ball, but he hustled back and stopped the fast break.
Substitution. Hopefully Skipper's okay, coming off a little gingerly. And there's an errant pass.
Again, that's why you go ahead and you pressure the ball, because you get a turnover just like that.
Get away from that sideline. Throws it back to the middle of the field.
And it's going to work.
It worked. Get away from the sideline, kids, when you're on that clear. It's an extra defender. Pays off this time. Jake Murphy splits back to his left, gets to the front, power shot over the goal. That was a really nice move to get back to the middle.
It was, and he had Walker beat on that one. He just missed the cage.
Walker was headed down. The ball was coming up. Shot, stung the corner. Oh, my, what a goal by John Allen Ginder. Did you hear it?
I did hear it. I love that sound. There's nothing better than the ball hitting the pipe and going in.
Unless you're the goalie and you're opening your eyes and you realize that you just gave up a rifle of a goal by Ginder. Watch the placement on this. You can hear it ting off the pipe. Murphy looks for the backside. This was the first shot when he split back and bounced it over the cage. Had him beat.
We always talk about getting topside on your defender, which means you get to the middle of the field and increase your angle. So hard for the goalie to make that save.
I got to tell you, that shot by John Allen Ginder was a rip. Not the best angle in the world, but hit the cage from that range with that velocity. Hello. 7-4 is our score.
What's the other saying, Ray? Good shots beat good goalies, and that was a good shot.
That was a good shot against a good goalie. Miles Long controlling, being patient. Julio Duda coming back onto the field. No hurry for Episcopal here. They were trying to get that short stick matchup, but a nice switch by Providence. Move to the top side, shot, bounced it wide. They're feeling it right now.
Yeah, they are. Coach Carter is yelling instructions, but I just can't hear him. But he's doing a good job directing his offense right now.
These last few possessions, every time Episcopal makes a move, it's to a better shooting position. They're not moving to move. They're moving to create good shots, and they're getting good shots. Getting that defense spinning. Look at that move to the good shooting spot. Off the noggin of Walker. That's a save. Race to the sideline. It's going to be Episcopal ball. So here's that shot. Boom.
So fast the camera couldn't keep up with it. But you see the ball hit the back of the net and just drop straight down.
You can pick anything on the top shelf to the right at the carnival after you show that marksmanship. Boy, these hitch moves. Shot, save. What a save by Walker. That was a good take.
He just ate that up.
These little hitch moves from Episcopal, it's almost like when you pull back on a jump shot in basketball. You just get that defender off balance.
Yeah, I've gotten to coach with Coach Carter in a box league, and he is a big believer of the hitch move, and rightly so. It gets the defender off their mark, and then it gets you into the middle of the field.
Here's Nick Stone. Nice clear by Providence. They haven't had the ball on offense in a while. Here's Skipper. 7-4 is our score. 7:50 to go in the third quarter. Episcopal on top of Providence. Providence ball. Nick Stone trying to get underneath. Good defensive angle. It was Walker Hutto. Look at Hutto.
Hutto's done a really good job on him.
Good switch. Shot, low angle shot. Saved by Halsey. Halsey's so nonchalant in there. It's like he's having a catch.
Yep, and they made the play that you hate, Ray, when they throw the ball. Going to have a flag down on that one.
We'll see if they call it targeting, if they lock them in. The referees have some discretion here. Could be 1 minute, could be 2 minutes. I'm going to poll the experts in the booth. What do you think it's going to be?
Yep.
The referee in the booth says 1 minute. Locked in or not?
Typically in the head, which I thought that is 2 minutes locked in high school, but
I'm going to guess 2 minutes locked in.
But the refs are talking it over now.
Halsey made a great save. Let's go back to that. Got to make better decisions in the clearing game.
Yes.
So the referee's going to explain it here. If he puts his hand over his head with his hands together, it's locked in.
That's going to be locked in.
Locked in.
2 minutes. 2 minutes locked in.
There's your answer.
Yep.
Coach Applegate called it. I agreed, and so did the referees, most importantly.
Yep. In high school, they usually call the game a lot closer than they would a college game.
That was blatant.
They're trying to protect their offensive player on something like that.
So Episcopal has a chance to close the gap. Providence has a chance to close the gap. Nice little move back to his left hand.
He stepped in the crease.
Stepped in the crease.
Yeah.
Nick Stone. Now here's an opportunity for Episcopal to kill some time. Don't be surprised if he chucks it to the other end of the field at some point. If he gets under pressure. Oh, that's a nice clear. Surprised that Providence allowed that to happen. You just cannot give anyone that much space when you're in a man up.
Yeah, the midi went on a fly pattern in football, and he was wide open.
So now Episcopal's got to make a decision. Do we just kill the penalty? It's 2 minutes, or do we try to create some offense? And Providence has to decide if they're going to double team the ball or not. They have an extra defender. So Slagle's going to wander over there and try to create some havoc. You want to shut off the adjacent player, though.
Triple team.
There's the timeout.
Yep. That was an opportunity for a triple team. You never want to, as an offensive player, you never want to set a pick for a teammate that's being double teamed, because then you bring a third player in there.
So we've got a timeout on the field as Episcopal attempts to kill a penalty on offense. We're going to go ahead and take a break. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Train. Our score is Episcopal 7, Providence 4. We'll be back momentarily. Rivalry on the River, presented by Train. We're back to the action. Episcopal called that timeout when their player, man down, was about to get double teamed. Now they can get the ball into the hands of the playmaker, Hoosier, as he runs past that double team. Chance at offense. Shot, score, man down, goal.
And I love that, Ray.
Jacob Hoosier.
I love that. As an offensive coach, you know they're going to be coming out and double teaming the ball, and you tell your player, you go as hard as you can to the cage and go score a goal.
The other piece to that is the rest of his teammates cleared out, so there was no other defenders in the area, and he just took a beeline. Just outrun the guy, got to the front, got to that sweet spot. Great finish.
Yeah, a man down goal, too, was so demoralizing to a team. But, yeah, and Hauser did a good job getting to the middle, turning his shoulders back towards the goal, and had a nice high bounce shot over Walker.
And that was the thing that I noticed as he came around on that replay. He squared his shoulders up and got his momentum going back towards the goal. And here's a chance. That was a locked-in penalty. This is a big ground ball.
It is.
Episcopal comes up with it. There's another timeout, back-to-back timeouts by Coach Carter. He's valuing these possessions in the third quarter.
He senses the game is right there, Ray, to break it open. And if he can, get possession, get his offensive players out there, he might be able to get another goal here and stretch the lead to 5.
We talk about it a lot, Jim, about the philosophy of calling timeouts. So many people wait till the end of the game, and then they end up not using them and taking them home. How many timeouts per half in high school?
There's 2.
There's 2. A possession is a possession. As you mentioned, Coach, we'll get into the huddle of Episcopal. Coach feels like he's got the momentum right now. Let's keep
They're
it.
putting these games on the first ever high school lacrosse games on live television.
We're not talking about it.
We want to thank 1010XL for our radio.
All right, hey, boys, let's go.
Let's
finish it this quarter. All right, let's finish it this quarter.
Yeah.
Hey, boys, let's go. You heard it.
1, 2, 3, go!
They've taken that to heart. Look at those pretty helmets.
Yeah,
Those are some good-looking lids.
And you could tell Episcopal's starting to feel it a little bit. They know that they can dictate the outcome of this game right here, right now.
Episcopal in maroon jerseys with shiny gold helmets with a beautiful eagle on the side. In the white jerseys with black helmets, the Providence Stallions with the Providence bold P and the numbers on one side of their helmets.
And I like this because Coach Thies is going right now. Okay, you guys, you got beat last time. Here's another opportunity for redemption.
He might run right between them this time.
That's what I always tell my player. Go right between them. It's the hardest place to guard.
There he goes. Oh, nice check.
Yep.
He almost got through.
Almost.
That's a good battle right there, and
Yep.
Slagle comes up with it. I like that matchup. Anytime Hoosier and Slagle are around the ball, something exciting is going to happen.
Right. But you got to love that, right? Coach Thies comes out and says, here, boys, it's time to make another play. Sometimes
Learning
you win.
moment.
Yep, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And it's a way to come back and make a quality play for your team.
So this is man-up opportunity. It doesn't seem like it because Episcopal's had the ball for so long, but they are still man-up. Oh, nice skip pass. Slagle shot saved by Halsey.
Wow, nice outlet pass,
He gunned
too.
that pass.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Still man down.
Yeah, I was going to say Hoosier looks gassed, and he is. He's coming off the field. Well, job well done. Clear the ball and get off the field.
And it's nice. Back to even as Duda comes on. Duda looks up at the clock. It says 5:07. We're up 8-4. Let's have a catch. These guys, they're in good shape. They've played a lot of games, but it's hot out there. Way to play that slow bounce, picked up by Walker.
And that's a way to take the body when you're playing defense, right? He pushed the Episcopal player off balance and made a low-quality shot.
That was an amazing grab by Schur on the clear. The pass was low and behind him, and he just reached back at the midfield line and saved that clear. Now here's a chance. Skipper shot, save. Goalie wars going on right now as Halsey goes and digs that out of the turf.
Yeah, I'm questioning Providence shot selection right now. They got to do a better job of, Halsey's proven that he's a good ball stopper, and you got to get quality shots against a quality goalie.
It is all Episcopal midfield on the clears. There's Doda. Gets to the front. Shot, score! End to end, coast to coast. Julio Doda runs through the stick check and powers it past Walker.
Again, a downhill run. a downhill run from the midfield, and there's no stopping him. And if you don't put a body on him, he's going to do exactly what he did. He lowered his shoulder, ran by the defender.
So he picks it up in his defensive end. Look at that, around 2 guys.
This is the equivalent of going coast to coast in basketball. Clearing the ball, running past your guy. He's going to lower his shoulder, give him a hard, stiff shoulder, and right to the goal.
So you saw the defender, Blake Pierce, throw a stick check, but you want to get on that front side, get to his strong right-handed side, but Hoosier ran right through it. Duda ran right through it and finished. Nice face-off win by Vermi.
Looks like a push behind on Providence.
There'll be Providence ball. Vermi controls, covered by Hutto. Good pressure. Nice job boxing out, trying to get that ground ball by Hutto. Pushing it forward, Episcopal ball, that was a beautiful play. That's one of those plays in the game that doesn't really show up in the stats or the highlights, but Hutto just earned that possession.
He did. He made a really smart play, pushed the ball. Good things happen when you push the ball towards your offensive cage, and that's exactly what happened for Episcopal in that possession.
MJ Goodman, savvy left-hander, carries it from behind the goal out to the front, over to Murphy.
And you can hear the coaches for Episcopal say, slow it down, slow it down. They want to get their substitutions on.
Miles Long comes on. Job well done by number 19, Jack Hooper, as he runs off. Doda's going to call for it. I'm right here. Right there. You've got a 5-goal lead. You've been running up and down the field. Oh, nice inside move. Getting to the front. Center. Right-hand shot. Score.
That's another goal for Episcopal's number 1.
Julio Duda just running through the stick checks.
Yeah. So, Ray, when you and I played back in the day, it was a written rule that if you're going to go to that part of the field and dodge on 2 guys, you're going to be looking up at the sky. You might score, but you're going to be looking up at the sky. And not to saying that you have to knock him down, but you got to get a body on him. He's too strong. He's too big. He's got time to switch from his left hand to his right hand, and he's in the middle of the cage. And there's no way Walker's going to make that
So 22 comes up. You talk about defensive angles. You want to get over to his strong hand, in that case the left hand. Throwing stick checks against a player of the skill of Hoosiers, not going to work.
No,
Duda.
Too big, too strong.
Really impressed with the shooting positions that Episcopal's getting to. They're getting to ideal shooting positions to the front of the cage. They're taking that extra step.
And that's been a difference in this quarter, Ray, is that Providence has been shooting from bad angles, and Halsey's been making easy saves on him.
That was a really nice play by Miles Long. That ball was skipping down by his feet, and he just got his body in front of it and was able to scoop it up. Another little unsung play, but it just shows patience, confidence, and skill.
And
you're not just swinging at it.
And it saves a possession.
Doda.
He loves a short stick matchup. He's going to go back at it again.
If Providence runs at his stick and not his body, he's going to run right through it again. There's Long. A lot of two-handed players for Episcopal, too. You see these guys confidently carry it in both of their hands.
Yeah, and a lot of that comes from Coach Carter's box experience. He loves the box game, and he kind of has his kids playing that same style.
Doda trying to get back underneath. There's the body check.
And look what happened. The ball is
he is
dislodged.
on his back right now. That was a little late. Feed behind the back shot. Save. Rebound. Collected. Shot wide. That was a big wind-up on that shot off the mark.
Yeah, Providence is just back on their heels right now. They look tired. It's a hot day. They played a lot of defense, and at some point you start breaking down.
1:29 to go in the third quarter. Episcopal on top of Providence by a score of 10-4. Episcopal ball in their maroon jerseys, carrying behind the goal. There's Tritt for Episcopal behind the goal. The X position is the area directly behind the goal, and that's where Tritt is now. Left hand, coming around that left goal line extended. Back up top to Long. Feed to the crease. Shot wide.
What a nice play.
That was Will Riggs who took the shot, caught it, just missed the mark.
Once again, he saw his defender turn his head, and he went and cut towards the cage and was rewarded for it. Smart play.
We love those second pass assists, the hockey assists, and they almost had one there. That was a low angle shot. It's going to stay in bounds. Episcopal's doing a nice job with their body on these ground balls.
Yep.
Nice little stick fake by Lee Tritt, the junior attackman, controls the ball behind the cage.
You could just see, though, Episcopal's getting every ground ball now.
42 seconds to go in the quarter. Episcopal ball. Will Riggs, right-handed cradle from the wing. Back up top to Long. Over to Murphy. He wants a shot right here. That's Hoosier was calling for it with a little head bob. He wants the shot.
Interference.
Interference, moving pick. We're at 22 seconds remaining in the third quarter. That turnover will allow Providence one more chance here in the third quarter. Luke Pacerno, sophomore midfielder, will pick it up behind his cage with the short stick. And they're going to restart it 10 yards in front of the Providence goal.
That's where Coach Carter's box game got in his way. In box, you can make that moving pick. In the field game, you cannot.
Powerful move across the midfield line for Pacerno. Under 10 seconds to go. See if we have another shot on cage. Providence powering through. Pacerno, oh, good stick check and ground ball from Episcopal. That was number 21, J.P. Varela. And with that takeaway, we are at the end of 3 quarters of play. Beautiful day here at Jangro Field at the Episcopal School of Jacksonville.
That's the end of 3 quarters.
At the end of
With your
3
score,
quarters of
Episcopal
play,
10,
our score is Episcopal 10, Providence 4. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Train.
Today's game, the Rivalry on the River, is brought to you by Train, the CSI Companies, Bono's Barbecue, FSCJ, and Duval Motor Company.
What a day for lacrosse. Rivalry on the River presented by Train. Our score is Episcopal 10, Providence 4. Ray Carnicelli and Jim Applegate on the call. Face-off is underway to start the fourth quarter of play. See all the different high schools represented out here, youth programs, lacrosse fans. Just a great day. Slagle coming in. Check comes. Shot wide. So you're trailing 10-4. What an important face-off. Keep the ball away from Episcopal for one, but also try to chip away at this lead. They've got the scorers to do it. Nick Stone.
They've done a really good job on Stone. He's really he's had to earn everything he's done out there, and good defense by the Episcopal
Backside
Eagles.
shot scored. The long pole camping out on the crease. Schlegel with the goal.
Just throw it up. The big man will get it.
Lacrosse lore, back in the olden days, Paul Wareham was an attackman for Cortland State, my school. He played attack with a long pole, and that's exactly what he did. Camp out on the crease, everyone's swinging at his arms, and he's able to put it back in the goal. And we see Tom Slagle, just a great finish. And we were talking about that matchup. Nick Stone controlling the ball, marked by J.P. Varela. So give Stone credit. He got away from Varela and made that cross-cage pass, and Slagle was there to stick it home.
It's great to see a young player like that with his head up, looking for the open teammate and hitting him with a nice pass. Another scrum in the middle of the field.
2 Episcopal players, 3 Episcopal players on this ground ball. Slagle's throwing people around, though.
He is.
Now we got to play on. Watch his leg.
Push against Providence, Eagle ball.
Hammerling trying to get that quick restart.
Red 5, delay.
Oh,
30.
You heard it. Red 5 delay.
Wow. He was trying to get a quick whistle to go, and the referee was pointing him to get back to where the turnover occurred.
I don't know if I've ever seen that call with the offensive team getting the delay.
Yeah, well, like I said, he was trying to do a quick restart, and I guess the ref was telling him to drop the ball. But gives Providence an opportunity to try to get back into this game.
There's Stone. One more pass to Slagle. Over to Schur. Good ball movement. Cutter on the crease. Shot check came in. What a check it was. J.P. Varela. That had goal written all over it.
Varela's having a really good game. That was a complete hustle play. Got back to the middle and got that back check.
Here comes Stone around the goal line. One more shot. Save. Halsey with the save. That was a good look at the cage.
It was, but you got to change planes, right? You don't go high to high, especially not against a quality goalie like Halsey.
Risky pass, but it pays off as Episcopal's into the offensive end. Jake Murphy coming across. He wasn't the intended receiver on that, but one bounce later, he has the ball up to Dota. You think Slagle's tired? He's back there on defense. Looks okay to me, but he's run a couple miles today.
He's going to sleep well tonight.
These guys battled. Providence did with Mandarin earlier in the week. Held on to keep their undefeated record. Episcopal comes into this game 9-0. Providence 10-0. Nice inside move. Shot, score. That was a pretty goal by Jacob Hoosier.
Hoosier did a great job getting inside and then just that quick flip of the wrist and got the shot high in the opposite corner.
How many times have we mentioned it in our recent broadcast? Watch him slip under the defender, gets to the front. He doesn't hang his stick back behind his head saying, check me, check me. He keeps it up by his ear and pounds it home.
That was an old school goal. You flip your wrist and the ball comes flying out. The goalie has no time to react to it.
They used to say, throw from your ear, not from your rear. And he kept his stick right up by his ear and just went forward with it.
They must have said that in upstate New York because they certainly did not do that in Long Island. Please.
That's River Penland on the face-off. Providence ball. Just talking about the goalies one more time. Halsey is so nonchalant back there. He just makes it look easy, just another day at the office. And then Walker, the 8th grader, really impressed with both goalies. There's no quit, and there's a goal. No, I was just about to say no quit in Providence. Looks like Schur on the goal.
Yeah, we talked earlier about getting a body on your player, and they just kind of push him around, swing their sticks a little bit. Next thing you know, he twirls around, and he's facing the cage, and hey, let me shoot.
Who needs a left hand when you can just keep spinning around until you get in the right position? There he is. Second goal today for Jack Schur. That was impressive.
Yeah, he looks a little tired, but
he looked like a pinball in the pinball machine bouncing around there off the bumpers.
Hey, next thing you know, you're free in front of the cage and you score a goal.
11-6 is our score. Episcopal on top of Providence. 9:31 remaining in the fourth quarter. Violation push call awards the ball to Episcopal. They're back on offense. Murphy is going to have a run at it, trying to get to that top side. He's going to shoot. That's a save by Walker. Quick outlet pass.
Nice outlet pass.
So Providence, there's Skipper. Chase Skipper shot just off the mark. That was a pretty shot.
Yeah, it was. Again, he went 3/4, and when you're dodging downhill like that, you go high to low, overhand. You take your angle away when you start putting the stick out to your side.
Providence ball, Nick Stone. Like this matchup. This is a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
J.P. Varela throwing lumber. There's a check to the backside. Varela got a check in. Slagle has one. It's going to be backed up by the keeper, Halsey. Episcopal ball. What's your hurry?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got Dota open. Episcopal into the offensive end. Off to that clear. There's Ginder. 2 more passes.
Oh, he had the diagonal look down low on the right-hand side.
Murphy handles that ball under pressure. He caught it with checks raining in on him, but controls it. Miles long. Back up top to Ginder. Over to Dota. Dota down the right alley. Having a look. Shot wide. Say it, Jim. 3/4 sidearm from that downhill dodge.
I was going to leave him alone, but every time Dota gets a matchup against a short stick, he's being really aggressive and dodging downhill and getting a quality shot.
So you want to see an overhand hammer to the far corner.
Oh, I absolutely do.
Jake Murphy over to John Allen Ginder. Long, back to Ginder, back to Doda. Doda at the top of the key, rolls back to his right on that shorty, trying to split through the double team. He does. Triple team, shot off the post. Loose ball.
Ray, I can't believe you didn't give Walker a save on that.
Was it a save?
I don't know. I couldn't tell.
A lot of times I give the goalie saves, even if they just thought about saving it. If it didn't go in, it's a save. We're on TV, not just radio, so I can't make stuff up. 8th grader Walker playing big time. Look at that big baggy stick.
Yep. I just love the fact that Providence is just competing.
Nice pass, nice catch.
A lot of times you'll see, at this point in the game when you're tired, you're down by 5, where you start taking the gas off the pedal from a comeback perspective. But Coach Thies has these guys playing and playing hard.
I like Nick Stone. I like the way he plays. He went all the way up to midfield to help in the clear and get that ball. He's been getting beat up today. There's Garrett Daniel throwing the lumber. This time, here comes Stone around that right goal line extended. Heavy pressure. Good lift. Underneath. Triple check. Got to race it. Got to race. It's going towards the end line. It stays in. Providence is there to pick it up. Stone is gassed.
He is.
Coach, did you use those timeouts earlier? Heavy pressure. Stone's going to carry it up.
Yeah.
That was a desperation pass. He's got a man open behind the cage. Oh, nice check. So Miles Long, the senior midi, has done a really nice job. The ball is now loose again. Oh, good ground ball by the goalie, Halsey. Comes out, cleans up the mess in front of the goal. Backhanded shovel pass. Ginder keeps his feet. They've got to get it over the midfield line. It's at the 45, and Providence comes up with it. That's Carson Dunn. Carson Dunn, 5:44 to go. Episcopal 11, Providence 6. Providence has the ball on offense. These teams have run on a hot day. They are both pretty tired. Look at Halsey, the goalie's doubled over trying to catch his breath.
I was going to say, this last 45 seconds has got me tired watching it.
Oh, feed to the crease. Good check by Doda. Ball is loose. Got a scrum of about 7 players.
Nice ground ball.
There's a shot from distance, saved by Halsey, padding his stats at this point with that save.
Yeah, he's like, thank you very much.
Somebody get open, please.
That's a bad matchup.
And the goalie is stripped of the ball. There's no goalie in the cage, but a ground ball for Episcopal. Long comes up with it for Episcopal. Getting a little sloppy here as exhaustion setting in. It's almost like icing in hockey. Just send it down to the other end. Let's change lines.
Yeah, as you see the middies come up, you typically say never sub when you're on defense, but their kids are so exhausted they got to get off the field.
So Providence has their ball back behind their own goal. Long pass from Walker. Great look to Slagle. About a 50-yard pass. Slagle reels it in. The long pole for Providence comes back in on offense.
Slagle must be.
There's C.J. Woods. And Providence is going to call a timeout. It's 4th quarter action. 4:28 remaining in the game. It's Rivalry in the River, brought to you by Train. I'm Ray Carnicelli, joined by Jim Applegate. We're going to stay with you through this break. So Rivalry on the River, Jim, you and I have been involved in lacrosse for a long time. We'll come back and talk about the entire week's event. So we're going to go ahead and take a break. It's Rivalry on the River. Our score is Episcopal 11, Providence 6, with 4:28 remaining in the 4th quarter. We're back at Episcopal School of Jacksonville. Beautiful Jangro Field for Rivalry on the River, presented by Train. Our score is Episcopal 11, Providence 6. It's been a high-energy game. These teams have battled. They put the rivalry in Rivalry on the River. Well-played game. Little hockey game going on here.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Jaden Martin go over and pick that ball up and hope that one of his midfielders was back for him.
Jake Murphy comes up with a lot of ground balls.
He does.
Dishes it off to Lee Tritt. Jacob Hoosier. So, Jim, start thinking about player of the game. I know Joel will take it away after this game for the intermission and announce the player of the game, and we'll talk it over.
Yeah, there's a couple of people that I think are deserving of the award today.
We always have fun drafting from the game we're watching, like who would you pick first, who would you pick second. There's a lot of options here. Feed to the crease, behind the back shot, off the iron. Oh, he was going for style points. There was Hoosier.
Yeah.
That was so close.
It was. I'm not going to pick on him. You got a 5-goal lead. You got 3 minutes left in the game, and
you're all for having fun, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
And it was on cage. Hit the post anyway. He's got the ball again right now, feeling it. I love creativity when it's used wisely. There was nothing wrong with that.
Unless you want to score a goal.
Okay, old school. You're like the old guy in the balcony on the Muppets. Back in my day. We get accused of that sometimes.
Probably because these kids are a lot better than I was.
Turn shot, score! What a beautiful series. Miles Long buries it. Good ball movement. Keep it hot.
Yeah, it really was.
Another goal for Episcopal's number 33, Miles Long.
Yeah, Miles Long trying to catch his breath.
Yeah, it was actually Miles Jones. He did a.
Or Miles Long.
Miles Long. It's a long day, right? But Miles Long did a good job posting up his defender, almost like in basketball, right? He's got his defender on his hip. He catches the ball, turns to the middle of the field.
Look at this. This was a nice look, too.
Yep.
Ginder.
Yep.
Got his back to the goal. Turn. Oh, look at that placement. 5-hole.
It was perfect.
Changing planes, high to low. You a fan?
Yeah, I love it. That's a textbook goal right there.
By the way, Miles Jones is one of the greatest middies of all time, and he's done that a few times as well, so I understand why you got the Miles mixed up.
And he's from my old high school, so, it's okay for me to slip up every now and then.
Walt Whitman?
Walt Whitman
What's
High
their
School.
nickname?
The Wildcats, baby.
Okay. We got a player down. Player down. Referees call an injury timeout. 2:25 remaining in regulation. 12-6 is our score. Boy, I love the spirit and the fire of these two teams today, Jim.
Yeah, this has been a really fun game to watch. Both teams have competed the whole entire game, fought for every ground ball.
Fighting through exhaustion.
Fighting through double teams, and you got to give these kids a lot of credit for competing at this level.
Thursday night, you and I called St. Augustine versus Nice for Rivalry on the River, and it was a battle as well. The score ended up being a little lopsided, but anyone who watched that game knew how hard fought it was. Same thing here. It's a 6-goal margin, but nobody's given an inch.
No, absolutely not. And that's a credit to both of the coaches, and keeping their kids, being positive with them and keeping them in the game.
Battle of the undefeateds. Episcopal on top. Providence has the ball, trying to chip away at this lead.
Stone likes this matchup. He's like, "Thank you for giving me a shorty."
They're coming with another shorty right now. He's fighting for the front. They're coming early with the doubles. Got to move that ball. There's a skip pass. Shot, score! A little bit of a force, but you got to take some chances. And that was Jack Schur with another goal.
Yeah, and Stone just was how composed. He dodged and he re-dodged, and he actually re-dodged a third time. And the entire time, he's got his head looking in the middle of the field and surveying the field, and sees his player on the back end. And Schur just catches the ball, and nice high bounce shot over the goalie stick.
So for all the kids out there watching, when your coach says change planes of your shot, if you catch it high, maybe shoot it low. We've seen the last couple of goals. The goalie standing there with his stick up high, shoot at his ankles, bounce it in there.
That's one thing that's never changed in this game over the last 40 years.
The helmets have changed. The rules have changed. The concept of changing planes has not. That was a nice goal for Episcopal. Hey, it's 12-7 here, and Episcopal has been fighting and battling. It's been really fun to watch. And here's a face-off win. Early offense opportunity. Buried. No flags. Kobaka is battling. Now he's on the ground. Good sportsmanship there. Knock him down and help him up.
And it looked like he got called for playing with one hand on the stick on that ground ball. And so, therefore, the ball's going to go to Episcopal.
Jim, when we announce players of the game and talk about players of the game, the defenders kind of get slighted a little bit. But I got to tell you, J.P. Varela, love the way he plays.
He's had a whale of a game, and you're right. It's hard to stand out and be an MVP as a defenseman, but he by far has stood on his head today and played really well.
Episcopal trying to add to their lead. 1:21 to go in the game. Episcopal 12, Providence 7. Rivalry on the River presented by Train, a celebration of lacrosse. So excited about all of the supporters, the sponsors, the boosters, parents, and especially the players. There's a shot just wide.
It's been a great 3 days of lacrosse, right?
Lee Tritt was there to back it up. 1:03 to go in the game.
2-3, 23. 33 seconds. 30 seconds, 23.
Looks like
Waiting
we have
for this restart.
Looks like we had a penalty.
Okay.
I didn't see a flag go down, but I heard him say a 30-second penalty.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Providence is man down. We see number 23, Nick Stone, in the penalty box. So he's going to spend the rest of the day. Or was it a 30-second penalty?
Yeah.
Okay, so he'll get another chance at it. But Episcopal is just going to go into victory formation here, it looks like. At least trying to take the penalty down, and Providence setting back. Oh, they're going to have a take. Shot off the post. Rebound. Boy, the post has taken a beating today.
It has.
Hey, guess who it is? Slagle. He might go to the cage here. He's got one more.
If that's me, I'm pushing it.
Dodging from Max with the long pole.
Oh, he's tired.
Under 30 seconds to go. Providence ball. Chase Skipper working through that pick, trying to get underneath. Skipper rolls back. Oh, good defense. Great defensive angle. Coming in with a trail check was Hoosier. Here goes Episcopal, odd man rush into the offensive end.
10 seconds.
That's Garrett Daniel. 5 seconds.
And the Episcopal chose to pull it out and end this game.
Ginder. Victory formation for Episcopal, and it's a final score. What a game it's been, Jim. I got to tell you, so excited for this event, so excited for the players. You got to get your hat off to Providence and Episcopal. Our final score is Episcopal 12, Providence 7. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up shortly. We got an intermission between games. Come back and preview Ponte Vedra versus Creekside. 12-7 is our final score. Episcopal on top of Providence. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Train.
Uncle Gino.
It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Train. End of Game 3, Episcopal all over Providence there late, 12-7. We're live at Jane Grove Stadium on the campus of the Episcopal School of Jacksonville. Joel Lamp here at our CSI Companies Update Desk. And glad to have our friend Ryan Profit from Future Home Loans. And Ryan, thanks for joining us. I know you've got a busy day. Everybody buying houses. We had Allison Ginder on earlier talking about the housing market, but with you guys are seeing a ton of people coming in trying to buy houses right now.
Yeah, it's amazing. The future's bright. We love being out here. It's a great day. Y'all doing an awesome job. It's just a lot of people that are moving here to Jacksonville. We used to be the hidden gem here in North Florida, and I think people have figured it out now.
I think it's hidden no more, my friend. Hidden no more.
No, it's not.
When you right now, with the housing market the way it is and with the interest rate so low, and you and I talk about this all the time, now is probably a good time to refinance your home if you haven't done that in the last year or so.
Absolutely, absolutely. Give us a call at Future Home Loans. We're here local. We support local. We're in your community. We're here at these events. It takes about 15 minutes, and we can look down and see if there's a way for you to save some money. There's a lot of things you can do by refinancing. You can lower your rate. You can pay off some debt. You can put that swimming pool in. We definitely need a swimming pool in a day like today.
Today, I need a swimming pool right outside our little tent here.
Yeah.
One of the things you guys have done, y'all have grown so much so fast. Why are people choosing Future Home Loans to do their mortgages?
Well, we're here locally, like I mentioned. We're veteran-owned. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews. So if you go online, you look for a local mortgage company in town, we're going to pop up. You're going to see us out. We're going to be in the community. We're at our kids' games. We're at all the high school games. We love the support. And our business has grown so much because it's based off of friends and family and referrals and people like you, Joel.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, you guys have been fantastic, a great partner of ours. You talked about the community and how important it is. And I know with the 50 kids that you have, that it's a big piece being out in the community. But, this isn't just like a gimmick or a piece of. This is ingrained in the culture of the Future Home Loans.
It is. It is. We all have kids. We're a family. We're a company, and we love the support. And like we've gone to our kids' games. I had a basketball tournament this morning. We had a flag football game this afternoon, and now we're out here. So it's we're here for you. Give us a call. It'll take about 5 minutes. We can see what kind of mortgage needs you're looking for, and we'd love to help you.
What number do they need to call?
904-887-7926.
And what's your website?
Future.loans. That's future.loans where the future's bright.
Well, Ryan, thanks a lot for coming on board, and we appreciate your support of the event.
Yeah, thank you so much. Glad to be here.
All right, when we return, we'll have a recap of Game 3 and get you set for Game 4. The nightcap, Providence fell to Episcopal 12-7 in Game 3. We're getting set for Ponte Vedra and Creekside. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Train. We're back. It's Rivalry on the River, presented by Train. We are between games 3 and 4, just 19 minutes before we get started with our final game, Creekside and Ponte Vedra. Hello, everybody. Joel Lamp here at our CSI Company's update desk. I'm joined by Lee Roggenberg and the head coach of the victorious Episcopal Eagles. We'll talk with Coach Carter in just a minute. A big win for the Eagles today over Providence to stay undefeated. The face-off of the game right here, a big draw and a big win to get the momentum going quickly for Episcopal. The face-off won by Jacob Hauser. He comes down, shoots, and almost got the goal. A couple of other highlights. That's our save of the day. Jackson Holsey played a phenomenal job between the pipes for Episcopal. And then here's our shot of the game. Going coast to coast. Julio Duda doing it all right there. After running about 70 yards, I'd be tired too.
Yeah.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you,
Great win.
Thank you.
You guys took a little punch to the face early, a little jab, but then,
did.
boy, you guys answered back with authority there the rest of the game.
That tends to be our MO this season. We like to spots a couple points and kind of wakes us up a little bit. We've done that several times this season.
Lee, what did you see in that game?
Well, first of all, I thought that the turning point in the second half was the 2-minute penalty, killing it off, getting the shorthanded goal when it was 7-4. Sort of sent you on a little run here to end the third quarter.
We take a lot of pride in our man-down defense. We play a little different style than you see most high school teams play around here. A lot of teams play that box and one, and we like that hard, heavy 5-man rotation, cause chaos. We don't even scout formations. You just have an assignment. It's ball next hole, and that's what your job is, and we just go. So.
Yeah, when I looked at sort of this, I thought that also in the second half, you found a way to get inside. It looked like their slides were not really effective, and you were getting open looks inside.
I love how observant you are. We actually switched to a set that we call Big Open, which is kind of taken from, I got to give credit to my friend Johnny Meridian, box lacrosse phenom, old GM of the Canadian national team. He's a good friend of mine, and he taught me a box offense. Actually, that's a box offense. We just go really wide, and it's a lot of exchanging and interchanging, so they can't have a slide ready.
Also, it looked like on the defensive side, you were able to sort of shut down their interior for the most part.
Well, early on, we didn't play that very well. They weren't following the game plan, and then we kind of woke up at halftime and really answered our assignments. So that went well.
One of the things we saw was a stellar play by Jackson Holsey in goal. I mean, he was impressive, even for a guy who hadn't seen a lot of lacrosse in a while. He made a lot of plays and kind of set the tone for your defense.
Absolutely. Jackson Holsey is an absolute stud. I'm lucky to have him. He's been like that since 8th grade. That kid, whatever college gets him is going to be really lucky because he's just going to get better and better.
Now, you guys are able to stay undefeated by out-shooting them, and with 34-26 in the shot category. Our stats brought to you by the Florida State College at Jacksonville, our friends at FSCJ. Ground balls, 35-31 to Providence. Saves, 13-10. That's probably a factor of the shots, but 34 shots. You guys were able to really take advantage of your opportunities. You did a really good job, A, of killing off penalties, You even got the short-handed goal there.
Yeah, you know, we talked about that at the timeout, that they might fall asleep a little bit, and you know, we saw that out on film that they kind of used the teams just kind of sitting on the ball. So I put it in, you know, one of my best 2 players' hands and said, you read the play. I give my players a lot of freedom to make decisions inside of what we do.
There's a sweet goal there by Jacob Hauser, who made a nice move there. Here's another shot, the bounce shot there.
Miles Long.
Miles Long with a nice bounce shot. Coach, now you're undefeated. You beat the other undefeated team. Now there's probably a little bit of a target on your back.
Yeah,
how do you guys kind of build off this and go for the rest of the season?
I think we just got to take it one game at a time and grind. You know, we don't take anyone for granted. We have St. Augustine coming up next, and they're going to get all of our attention for the next few days. And you know, the game plan for them, they have a couple really stud midfielders that we have to control, and so it's just one game at a time.
Glenn, one of the things that is sort of interesting about this part of the state is it was based on a comment that I saw that Tom made in the newspaper article about now it's getting close to 20 years. How is your feeder system starting to work now, and are you sort of at a point now where you're happy with how it's progressing?
We have 50 kids in our middle school program playing right now. Most kids in my program, Julio, Doda, Jacob Hoosier, Jackson Holsey, they didn't pick up a lacrosse stick till 7th grade. So to see what they're doing right now as juniors, they didn't pick up a stick till 7th grade, is pretty amazing to me. And you know, I'm so proud of those guys, so proud of the whole team. The culture here is amazing. They're in the weight room at 6:30 in the morning. You know, they're grinding it out. They've done the work to deserve what their record is. These kids work hard. And I'm not an easy coach to play for. I'm a Philly guy, and I coach like a Philly guy. And I'm in their faces. I grind them, and these kids just respond, you know, in spades. I absolutely love these kids. This is, I mean, I love being here, and I can't. I'd be remiss if I didn't have a huge thank you to, you know, Andy Kidd, our athletic director, our headmaster Adam Green. They are so supportive of everything we do, and then my beautiful wife and family who allow me to be a coach. So
let's kind of wrap this up a little bit with how big this has been for not just for your program, but for lacrosse in general across the region, to have this event this week and really kind of celebrate the sport and showcase it, taking it to that next level like some of the other high school 9-12 events.
Awesome. I mean, I have to thank Alan Verlander and his group, High School 9-12 and CSI companies. I mean, it's amazing to us. They came to me, I mean, I was like, absolutely. And our athletic director, headmaster, were like, absolutely, as long as we can do it within, you know, what's going on with COVID, and we just went off with bells and whistles. I mean, look at this venue, look at this school. I mean, I'm blessed to be here, and I'm blessed to have such a great group of kids that, you know, I get up every day. I'm excited to come to work every day. I'm excited to come to work every day.
I can understand why. I can understand why, especially with a team like you've got right now.
Absolutely.
Every day is a great day, isn't
Absolutely.
it?
I love it. I love it.
That's awesome. Well, Coach, congratulations. Best of luck on the rest of the season. We look
Thank
forward
you
to
so
seeing
much.
you all in
Thanks,
the playoffs.
guys. Thank you.
Bye.